Elena Vargas's hands moved with a different rhythm during the cardiac arrest. Not the hands of a typical paramedic, nor even those of a seasoned ER doctor. These were the hands of a combat surgeon, wielding a precision that her EMT partner, Maria, had never witnessed. When the patient flatlined for the third time, Elena did something no paramedic manual would ever teach. In that moment, the staff at Cityscape Medical Center discovered the truth about their soft-spoken paramedic of 6 years. Elena Vargas wasn't just saving lives, she was waging war against death itself, using skills honed in the chaos of battlefields. Welcome to Unsung Heroes. Before we dive into this remarkable tale, drop a comment below with the city you're reading from today, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because Elena's story reveals that true heroes often hide in plain sight. Elena Vargas was the ideal paramedic in everyone's eyes. At 35, she was calm, compassionate, and unflappable. For 6 years, she'd worked at Cityscape Medical Center. Each shift began with Elena and her partner Maria prepping the ambulance, checking gear, and starting the day. Routine calls, patient transfers, grueling 12-hour shifts, Elena handled it all with grace. The hospital staff adored her. They nicknamed her Steady Elena, never rattled, never erring, always finding a way. Patients trusted Elena implicitly, soothed by her gentle voice, her reassuring touch, her quiet promise that everything will be fine. Maria, her EMT partner, beamed with pride. "I work with the best," she'd boast. Elena's medical knowledge ran deep, but no one pried. She was a stellar paramedic, that was enough. Yet, keen observers might have noticed odd details, the way Elena assessed patients, the deftness of her hands, her use of precise medical jargon, her flawless fore insertions, her rapid vital signs checks, and, most curiously, the extra tools in her medical bag, specialized equipment alongside standard gear that Maria couldn't quite place. Elena Vargas wasn't just a paramedic. October 28th, Thursday, 2:45 a.m. Elena and Maria were on the night shift. It had been quiet, minor calls, no crises. Elena was restocking supplies while Maria parked the ambulance. At 2:47 a.m., the radio crackled with a dispatch, Unit 19, multi-vehicle pileup, Interstate 405, mass casualty incident, code red priority. Elena's senses sharpened. Mass casualty, the ultimate test for any paramedic. Copy, dispatch, Unit 19 responding, Maria replied. As Elena prepped the ambulance, she ran mental drills, multiple injuries, critical patients, scarce resources, a paramedic's worst nightmare. But Elena wasn't fazed. She'd faced this chaos countless times, just in a different arena. At the scene, pandemonium reigned, a 5-vehicle crash, 1 van overturned, a truck on its side, 9 injured awaiting extraction. "Elena, this is insane," Maria whispered, her voice trembling. Elena stepped out, her eyes scanning with battlefield clarity, triage protocols, patient prioritization, resource allocation. Her Army combat medic training snapped into place. She wasn't paramedic Elena now, she was combat medic Lieutenant Vargas. First patient, conscious, abdominal trauma, likely internal bleeding, priority 1. Second patient, unconscious, head trauma, stable vitals, priority 2. Third patient, compound fractures, conscious, stable, priority 3. Triage done in 25 seconds. Maria was stunned. "Elena, how'd you assess so fast?" "Practice," Elena said curtly. With the first patient, her hands moved with surgical precision, for access, airway stabilization, blood pressure control, motions too fluid, too expert. Maria watched, noting the difference. Elena's techniques weren't standard EMT training, they were advanced, military-grade, combat-honed. "Elena, where'd you learn this?" Maria asked. Elena stayed focused, ignoring the question. Other paramedics worked nearby, but eyes began turning to Elena. Her methods were too skilled, too professional, too tactical. The fire captain approached. "Ma'am, outstanding work. What's your background?" Elena paused. "Paramedic, 6 years. The captain raised an eyebrow. Just a paramedic? That's trauma surgeon level skill. Elena didn't respond because at that moment the patient's monitor blared. Flatline. Cardiac arrest. Maria gasped, Elena, we're losing them. Standard protocol kicked in, CPR, defibrillation, basic life support. Elena tried it. 2 minutes, no response. Elena, we've done all we can, Maria said, voice breaking. Firefighters rushed over. We'll take it from here. But the patient flatlined again, worse this time. Elena froze, her gaze locked on the patient. Severe internal bleeding, critical chest trauma, standard methods failing. In that moment, the truth Elena had concealed for 9 years surged to the surface. The crowd of responders stepped back. Elena's voice shed its soft paramedic tone, replaced by a commanding, military sharp cadence, a combat medic's authority. She reached into a hidden compartment of her medical bag, revealing advanced surgical tools Maria had never seen, military-grade scalpels, hemostatic clamps, thoracic retractors. Elena, what are those? Maria whispered, stunned. Emergency thoracotomy kit, Elena replied, her hands already moving with surgical precision. Maria's eyes widened. You're a paramedic, you can't perform field surgery. Elena exposed the patient's chest, sterilizing with iodine solution, following combat medic protocols. Maria, step back. I'm saving this life. Other paramedics gathered, jaws dropping. What's she doing? The fire captain muttered. Field surgery, actual field surgery, another gasped. Elena's hands executed an emergency thoracotomy with battlefield accuracy, precise incision, intercostal space identification, pleural cavity access. She murmured military medical protocols to herself, her movements those of someone who'd performed this countless times. Maria, awestruck, asked, Elena, how do you know this? Elena didn't respond. She wasn't paramedic Elena now. She was Lieutenant Elena Vargas, Army combat medic, field surgeon specialist. The chest cavity opened, revealing the issue, massive internal bleeding, pericardial tamponade, blood pooling around the heart, halting its function. In a hospital, this would demand a 2-hour surgery with a full team and specialized equipment. Elena had only her field kit in 3 minutes. I need to drain the pericardial sac, she said, her focus razor-sharp. Her hands moved with a surgeon's precision, needle insertion, fluid drainage, direct cardiac access. The responders stood in stunned silence. This wasn't a typical ambulance scene, it was combat surgery. Who is this woman? The fire captain whispered. Not just a paramedic, another replied. That's a trauma surgeon. Elena began direct cardiac massage, manually compressing the heart, life hanging in her hands. Come on, she murmured. Stay with me. These weren't paramedic Elena's words, they were combat medics, someone who'd held beating hearts in war zones. 1 minute. 2 minutes. Manual compression continued. Maria watched, tears in her eyes. Elena, please. Elena's focus never wavered, muscle memory from Syria, from Fallujah, from field hospitals under fire. I've done this before, she breathed. I'll do it again. Suddenly, a rhythm flickered on the monitor, weak but steady. The patient resumed breathing. Elena carefully closed the chest cavity, applied temporary sutures, and dressed the wound, a textbook field surgery procedure. The paramedic stood frozen, Maria barely breathed. The fire captain approached, voice trembling. Ma'am, what did we just see? Elena cleaned her instruments, packing them away with steady hands. Emergency thoracotomy with pericardial drainage, she said calmly. Standard combat medic procedure. Combat medic. The words hung in the air. Elena glanced at the patient, stable, breathing, alive, then at Maria, shocked, and the gathered responders, all staring. The secret she'd guarded for 9 years was out. Army combat medic, Elena said softly. Lieutenant Elena Vargas. 4 tours in Syria, 3 in Iraq. Field surgeon specialist, special operations medical support. Silence. Maria whispered, Elena, you're a decorated veteran? Elena gave a small nod. Was. Now I'm just a paramedic. The fire captain, in awe, said, Ma'am, that was Congressional Medal of Honor level surgery. Elena glanced at the patient, now stable. That was Wednesday night paramedic work. Same job, different skills. But everyone knew things had changed forever. When they returned to Cityscape Medical Center, the atmosphere had shifted. Word spread, 9 critical patients saved, all stable, thanks to exceptional teamwork. But Elena's identity was the real story. Dr. Ramirez, the ER director, summoned Elena. Elena, I need to know what happened out there. Reports say you performed procedures beyond a paramedic's scope. Elena was direct. I saved lives, doctor. That's my job. But a thoracotomy? Advanced cardiac surgery? Where did you learn that? Elena paused, then spoke her truth after 9 years. Army combat medic. Lieutenant Elena Vargas, Special Operations Medical Support. 7 deployments, field surgeon. Dr. Ramirez was floored. Why keep this quiet? With your skills, you could be a trauma surgeon here. I wanted to serve quietly, Elena replied. Combat surgery carries heavy memories. Paramedic work brings me peace. Maria entered. Elena, everyone's talking. They want to know who you really are. Elena sighed. Tell them I'm the same Elena. Same job, same person. But she was also Lieutenant Elena Vargas, who saved 52 soldiers in Aleppo. Elena's expression shifted. She hadn't wanted that name resurfaced. How do you know that? The fire captain looked up your military records, Maria said. Elena, you're a legend. News raced through the hospital. Their paramedic was a decorated combat medic. Elena refused interviews, shunned publicity. The next day, she resumed her routine, same uniform, same partner, same job. But staff looked at her differently, with respect, awe, gratitude. Dr. Ramirez offered, Elena, we want you as a trauma surgeon. Your skills, Elena declined politely. Thank you, but I love paramedic work. Your expertise could save more lives than surgery, he pressed. It saves lives where I am, she said. Maria asked, why, Elena? Why not surgery? In the ambulance, Elena gazed out the window. Surgery saves one patient at a time. As a paramedic, I stop people from needing surgery. I choose prevention. Local news tried to cover her story, war hero turned paramedic. Elena declined all requests. I'm here to work, not for fame. Veterans groups reached out with messages, letters, meeting requests. Elena declined gently. One day, a young Army medic visited. Lieutenant Vargas, I'm Specialist Torres. I heard about you. Can you train me? Elena studied him. Son, military training belongs in the military. Civilian medicine is here. Different worlds. But your techniques, Torres pressed. War techniques are for war, Elena said firmly. Peace techniques are better here. Don't wish for war skills. Elena's philosophy was clear, gentle healing over aggressive intervention. Military medicine saves lives at any cost, she told Maria. Civilian medicine saves lives with minimal trauma, maximum care. The military taught me to save lives. Paramedic work teaches me to preserve dignity. Maria nodded. That's why you choose this over surgery. Exactly. Surgery is crisis management. Paramedic work is crisis prevention. The hospital stopped pushing for a promotion, recognizing Elena's value where she was. The EMT director told her, Elena, you're our best paramedic. Stay as long as you like. Thank you, Elena said. This is home. Today, Elena Vargas still works at Cityscape Medical Center, same partner, same ambulance, same quiet service. But staff see her differently, with reverence and gratitude. Elena appreciates it but says, recognition is nice, but service is better. All 9 patients from that mass casualty night recovered fully, perfect outcomes. Elena's comment, good teamwork. Everyone did their part. The hospital hung a plaque in her honor, Elena Vargas, combat medic hero, lifesaver. Elena disliked the attention but allowed it for inspiration. Young paramedics now seek her wisdom. How do you stay calm under pressure? One asked. Experience, Elena said. But more importantly, know why you're here, to serve life, not just save it. Elena's story teaches that true healing comes from quiet dedication, not advanced techniques. She could be a renowned trauma surgeon, lecture at universities, or write books on combat medicine. But she chooses paramedic work where help is needed most, on streets, in ambulances, in crises. Her military past gave her skills, her choice to serve humbly gives her purpose. Your paramedic might be a war hero, your nurse a former field surgeon. Thank them for their present service, not just their past. At Unsung Heroes, we share these stories because quiet healers deserve recognition. Drop a comment, what city are you reading from? Have you heard surprising stories from healthcare workers? If Elena's story moved you, like and subscribe to Unsung Heroes for more tales of healing heroes. The greatest healing often comes from the gentlest hands. See you in the next Unsung Heroes.